Hi, I'm Laurie. I work in collection resources at the State Library of Victoria. When people visit the State Library, either on site or online, they're usually searching for something, a book, a newspaper, an article, a picture even. And here in the collection resources team, we're all about acquiring and collecting those items, as well as making them accessible through our library catalogue. A byproduct of what we do is to create a record of the cultural life of the state, and we're best placed to do that considering the library's been here for over 160 years. There's 3.5 million items in the collection, with about 80,000 added every year. We acquire our items in three basic ways. We purchase a lot of them, and also people kindly donate a lot of items to the library, sometimes over 1,000 a year. And also there's legal and government deposit. Legal deposit is something that not everybody's familiar with, but it's basically a piece of legislation contained in the Victorian Libraries Act of 1988, which states that one copy of every item published in Victoria needs to be deposited with the State Library free of charge. Via legal deposit, we're getting about 8,000 books, journals, newspapers every year. Since the late 1990s, we've been archiving and cataloguing websites as well. Just recently, we've been expanding this to collecting PDF journals and newsletters. And we're hoping in the future, setting up a system whereby our users will be able to deposit their electronic and online publications via our website.
The State Library doesn't just collect physical items. I'm Peter, the Pandora librarian, and I manage the State Library's collection of Victorian-based internet publications. We collect these with the same purpose as we collect physical items. From government reports to local history projects, Pandora at the State Library of Victoria collects original websites, blogs and other web publications, keeping them available for the future. We collect all subject areas, forming a history of Victorian internet life and thought, and a timeline of changes in web design and use over the years. Victoria's contribution to the national collection has increased by about 1,000 new titles per year.
A good example of how things are changing in the library is in the area of journals and magazines. For example, about 10 years ago, we had maybe about 12,000 active print titles, and now we've only got 8,000. But that's because we're subscribing to databases which allow users access to over 42,000 full-text journals, and they can access these things at the library or even at home. Allied with collecting material for the collection is providing access to it, and this is done via the library's catalogue. Most material we have here at the library is only findable via our catalogue. A bit of history. Back in 1850 we started with handwritten accession registers. By the time we got to the 1880s we had the card catalogue going. Microfiche came in the 1970s. By the time we got to the 1980s we had a computerized online catalogue that took over, and that continues to this day. Catalogue records are sourced from a number of avenues of supply, like Libraries of Australia, OCLC, EBSCO-host. And for items where catalogue records cannot be found, they are in fact catalogued in-house by our staff. About 220,000 catalogue records were added to the catalogue last year, and of these, about 6,500 were created from scratch by our staff. So with so many collection items at the State Library, both here on the shelves and online, we're working hard to ensure the collection will support you to discover, learn, create and connect, and that you can find what you want on our catalogue, whether it's from the past or it's just been published this year.